Chapter 20. Mother and Daughter Things. Calysta sat in her living room. Soon, she would have to save the entire world. It was only a matter of days. And unfortunately for her, not all fairy tales ended well for the heroine. Sometimes they perished to save those around them. This was something she had to be prepared for. She felt Callie's trepidation and fear. She knew Mordred was an unfathomable threat to her, her friends, and everyone else. In truth, Calysta didn't want to die, but her life did not register on the scales in comparison to all the lives that would be lost if she failed. And because of that, she couldn't back down. A jiggling of the doorknob alerted Calysta to her mother's arrival. Unlike Mordred, she had a mother who loved her, and she couldn't die before being honest with her, or at the very least, as honest as she could realistically be in this situation. Readjusting herself on the couch, Calysta readied herself for the conversation to come. "It's all right. I'm here with you, regardless if the path ends in a long life of victory or a story cut short. We will see it through together." Callie's words and the feelings that followed them calmed Callista's nerves. She couldn't die. She had to show Callie she was a worthy partner, had to help Clover rid himself of Fafnir's curse, and had to help Varden towards his goal. For those reasons, and countless more, she couldn't let herself succumb and die. Callista's mother entered the room. Today, she boasted a classy suit with a long skirt.
"Oh, hello, Calysta,"
her mother said with a tired smile. After her father's death, for years, her mother had worked hard to provide for Calysta, a duty that Calysta had taken for granted until understanding Clover's life, his history, and his struggles. "Hey, Mom, I know you've had a long day, but can we talk?" Calysta asked, patting the couch cushion beside her, as her mother had when she was a little girl being summoned in the same manner.
"Oh, all right. Hopefully I'm not in trouble,"
her mother said with a soft laugh as she sat beside Calysta, who moved over so that her mother could have her preferred spot on the couch.
"What do you want to talk about?"
Calysta thought about the events since she'd been chosen by Callie, thought about the fantastical people and creatures she had come into contact with in such a short time. But explaining it all so a normal person would understand seemed impossible. "Well," Calysta started, trailing off unintentionally, suddenly taking an interest in a vase near the kitchen.
"Is this about your fae friend and the dragon boy?"
The words from her mother stunned her, leaving her in a state of exasperated pause. "What?" Calysta bellowed as she stood.
"Calysta, mind your jaw or flies might fly in,"
her mother said, taking her hand and sitting her back down. "How do you know? What do you know?" Calysta asked, happy to not have to construct some elaborate retelling of things, but unsure how her mother knew. Calysta wondered if it was a family inheritance, something passed down through the generations, the chosen bloodline born to fight the evils of the land.
"I was home when Varden dragged you both home from Greece. He couldn't really hide your friend's scales or his magic butterflies,"
her mother said, crushing her previous hopes.
"Honey, you all slept in the living room last night. Clover has wings."
Calysta felt condescended to, but was left with little room to defend herself. "Oh, so no crazy family secrets that will turn my worldview on its head?" Calysta asked.
"Your grandma's meatloaf was from the back of a soup can she brought 30 years ago,"
her mom said with a slight laugh. "That's not exactly what I meant, but that's also deeply unsettling." Calysta relaxed in her seat, glancing over at her father's old chair. "Would you like to meet her?" Calysta asked.
"Her?"
her mother said skeptically. Excalibur, Calysta corrected herself.
The magic sword you're bonded to is a she?
Her mother's voice was rife with confusion, which, granted, her very normal life experience made perfect sense. She's a sentient being with her own hopes, dreams, likes, and dislikes, Calysta explained, mentally signaling Callie to make her grand debut to her mother. Unburning flames spiraled around the embers fell like rain, dying out before reaching the carpet like jeweled rain as the flames converged into Callie's avian form. The large bird of prey watched her mother as silence fall upon the room. Her mother watched the Callie with razor focus she was being watched with. Might I join the conversation? Callie. Excalibur wants to know if she can also be part of the conversation from here on, Calysta relayed, realizing her lack of communication after receiving a questioning look from her mother. Callie can only speak through telepathy. Clover and Varden had to agree to let her inside their minds, too, before they could hear her. It's not invasive, Calysta elaborated. Moments trickled by as her mother seemed to ponder this. Calysta couldn't blame her, though it didn't bother her. Allowing someone else into the inner workings of your mind could certainly be seen as a breach in privacy.
All right. If you trust her inside your head, so do I,
her mother finally said.
Hello, Nadia Brinham-Lees. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance,
Callie said, over the newly established mental link. The contact brought a look of surprise to her mother's face for a brief moment before she caught herself.
Likewise, Callie. To say your reputation precedes you would be an understatement,
her mother responded politely. So, an important question regarding current events, Calysta said, watching the majestic form of Callie, staring thoughtfully towards the kitchen door.
I'm listening,
her mother said, eyeing Callie and probably wondering how the flaming bird wasn't burning the floor beneath her. Would it offend you if you found out we took in a kitten? Calysta asked, wondering how her mother would react to Champ.
I assume it's too late to say no.
Her mother raised a brow, clearly wondering where the animal in question was. It's kind of a big kitty, Calysta said, standing.
Like a Maine Coon?
Her mother asked, as she also stood, flinching as the flames of Callie's body dispersed into smell flecks of flames, and then ceased to be, reforming into the ring around Callista's finger. You're not too far off, Calysta said, leading her mother out the back door to the falsely empty backyard.
I don't see anything,
her mother said with a raising of her brow. Looking to her mother, she noticed Clover in the kitchen. Clover! Calysta unintentionally yelled out, receiving an annoyed glance from him in return.
Yes, Calysta?
Clover asked, pouring a pitcher of lemonade into a pair of glasses. Before you take your lemonade upstairs to your husband, could you make Champ show herself? Calysta asked.
Not my husband, Calysta,
Clover responded with annoyance.
Agree to disagree,
Callie chimed in, Clover unleashing a deadly glare towards the ring in response.
Champ, lick her face off,
Clover said. A cold statement that was followed by the quick rustling of grass before she was again tackled by an invisible force. The dry, prickly tongue of the wampus cat assaulted her face with all the wrath of a vengeful god. As the beast let itself be seen, she wondered what her mother would think of the giant, six-legged cat currently attacking her daughter.
Is that the stray?
Her mother asked.
Yep, Calysta will be all right. Champ will eventually get bored and go nap,
Clover said in monotone.
Well, she did sort of deserve it,
her mother said, betraying her as the tears from her laughing trickled down her face.